Dear students, welcome back to the class with a new chapter. Today, we shall start coordination compounds. Let us see the objectives that we will be learning in this chapter. These are the contents or the objectives that we will be going to learn in this chapter. We shall be studying simple organic, inorganic molecules and coordination complexes, nomenclature, IUPAC rules, coordination number, coordination geometries of metal ions and types of ligands, Werner's theory, Sidgwick's theory, and valence bond theory, and applications of valence bond theory to tetrahedral complexes, square planar complexes, octahedral complexes, limitations of valence bond theory, isomerism in coordination compounds, stereoisomerism, geometrical isomerism in square planar complexes, octahedral metal complexes, and optical isomerism in tetrahedral and octahedral complexes, and structural isomerism. In structural isomerism, we will be learning ionization isomerism, linkage, coordination, ligand isomerism. So, dear students, now let us start the lesson. First, we will see what are simple inorganic molecules. I hope you all know the simple inorganic salts. Okay. What are simple inorganic molecules? The molecules which contain cation and anion, combining a fixed stoichiometric ratio. For example, NaCl, NO2SO4, all these are simple inorganic molecules or simple inorganic salts. See here, NaCl, BaCO3, aluminum sulfate. All these are simple compounds which contain cation and anion. What is the cation here? Sodium. Anion is chloride. Always you remember if you observe these, cations are written first followed by anions. Here also, in any salt, cation will be written first followed by anion. The same logic is applied here in coordination compounds also, that we will be going to see in the further chapter. Now, when these solutions containing two or more stable salts are allowed to evaporate, crystals of new compounds called addition compounds are formed. There are two types of addition compounds. The first type is double salt, another type is coordination compounds. So now we are interested in this chapter is all about coordination compounds. Okay. Let us briefly see what are double salts also. Double salts are compounds which exist only in the crystalline state and break down into their constituent components when dissolved in water. On dissolution, these components have same properties as a mixture of individual compounds. For example, let us see this equation, more salt. More salt show the same physical properties and chemical properties as a mixture of solutions of ferrous salt and ammonium salt. Whereas the coordination compounds, these compounds exist as distinct entities, both in solid and in solution. Such compound is called coordination compound. For example, let us take this coordination compound. Coordination compound are written like this. They are like this. The square bracket, the moiety which is in the square bracket, that is known as complex ion. Okay. This is a coordination compound. One example for coordination compound. When these coordination compounds undergo dissociation, the dissociation is as follows. The whole thing that is in the square bracket, that will be dissociated like this, and the other part which is outside the square bracket will be dissociated as another ion. If you carefully observe this, the moiety that is inside the square bracket is not at all disturbed here. That is a special case of coordination compounds. The ions or the moieties or the atoms which are inside the square brackets are not at all disturbed. They are not at all falling apart. Okay, see here. the whole thing that is inside the square bracket, that will ionize as one ion, and the other which is outside the square bracket will be ionizing into another ion. As we have seen earlier, whenever you write a common salt, first you will be writing cation followed by anion. Here also, in coordination compounds, the one which is written first here, what is that? This is the one which is in the square bracket is known as complex ion. Since it is written first, it will be a cation here. See here, cation. The other side, on the right side, will be anion. Otherwise, if this is on the right side of this anion, that will then it will be a anion. The other thing will be a cation. Okay, you will be knowing this in when we go further. So, for example, see here. See here. First, there is a cation here. Simple thing here. Potassium is here. Therefore, potassium will be a cation, and the rest part which is in the square bracket, no, that will be a anion. Whereas here in this case, first we are having a square bracket here. All the moieties that are in the square bracket, they will be a cation, and the rest thing will be anion because it is written first here. Okay. Here, what is the first atom here? Potassium. Therefore, potassium will be a cation, and this will be a anion here. Okay. Whenever you write a salt here, for example, I will show it again here. For example, NaCl. What is cation here? Na is a sodium is a cation, chloride is a anion. Similarly, here also this is cation and this is anion because it is written in the first. And here also potassium, it is falling first, therefore it is a cation. This is a anion. Here. So whenever this undergo dissociation, how it will dissociate? So K will be K plus here, and the rest of the thing that is inside the square bracket will ionize as a whole thing as an anion here. So this is an anion, this is a cation. Here the square bracket is known as complex ion. This complex ion is a cation here, the rest thing is anion here. Whereas here, first potassium is there, therefore potassium is a cation, and the rest thing that is a complex ion is a anion here. Okay. Now let us see few of the terms that we'll be using in this chapter. You should all know these terms and remember these terms, okay? The first thing is complex ion. What I said, all the atoms or the moiety that is inside the square bracket is a complex ion. And these are shown in a square bracket, okay? A complex ion, it can be negatively charged, positively charged, or it can be a neutral like any other atom. Okay, it can be negatively charged or positively charged like this. See here, this is a positively charged complex ion, whereas this is a negatively charged complex ion. What is a whenever I ask you in next classes what is the charge of this complex, you have to say that it's a minus. If nothing is there, it means -1. What is the charge of this complex? 3 plus means plus 3. And it can be neutral charge also. Okay. See here, is there any charge on this complex? No, 0. There is nothing, no charge here, means 0. Now let us see the other terms here that you have to remember in order to understand this chapter. The first term is central ion. What is central ion? All these coordination compounds are mostly formed by the transition metal ions. These transition metal ions, as they contain vacant d orbitals, they can easily accept electrons from outside. Okay. So the other element metals which are capable of forming such type of compounds are known as central ion. So this central ion is written first. Whenever you write a coordination compound, central ion is written first here. See here, nickel. In the previous one also, what is the central ion here? silver. The metal which is forming a coordinate bond is known as central metal atom here. This is a central metal atom. What is the central ion here? Cobalt. Here silver. Here cobalt. Okay. The first thing that is written inside a metal, inside a square bracket, is a central ion. See here, the metal atom to which one or more neutral molecules or ions are coordinated is called central ion, and the molecules or ions so coordinated are called as ligands. If you see this is a complex ion. Okay, the whole thing that is inside a square bracket is a complex ion. The first thing that is written here is a central ion. What is the central ion here? Nickel. And the rest of the following things will be ligands. Okay, what is the next thing here? Is this a metal atom? No, this is ammonia. So therefore this is a ligand here. Here only one type of ligand here. What is that type? Ammonia. And we all know in ammonia we will be having one lone pair of electrons. These lone pair of electrons of ammonia, and that will be present on the nitrogen atom, it will donate the lone pair of electrons to empty d orbitals of nickel and form a coordinate bond. Okay, so the central metal atom will be written first. Okay, that is nickel here. That is a central metal atom. Now what are ligands? And the rest of the things that are written in a square bracket are ligands here. For example, here there is only one ligand, that is ammonia. And how many ammonia molecules are there? 6. So what is the job of these ligands? These ligands are coordinated to the central ion by donating electron pair. Okay, by donating electron pair. The atom in the ligand which can donate the electron pair is called donor atom or coordinating atom. For example, in ammonia, if you, I think you all know the structure of ammonia. And where the lone pair lies? On nitrogen. Okay. Is there any lone pair on hydrogen? No, there is no lone pair. Lone pair is on nitrogen. Therefore, nitrogen from this molecule ammonia is capable of donating a lone pair of electron. So, this nitrogen is known as donor atom. Donor atom. The whole molecule is known as ligand. The whole molecule is known as ligand. Okay. And ligand should have at least one donor atom with a lone pair of electron that can donate to the central metal atom that are mostly transitional metals like here, nickel. Okay, so if now what are the terms we know now? Central metal atom, that is the first thing that is written in square bracket. These are always metals, that is central ion, then followed by all the molecules which will be followed are ligands. So here ammonia is a ligand here. Now next term is coordination number. Coordination number means the total number of ligands attached to the central ion or the total number of coordinated atoms to the central ion is called coordination number. For example, how many ammonia molecules are there here in this complex? 6. What are ammonia? If you use this terminology of coordination chemistry, ammonia is a ligand. So how many ligands are there? 6. This number of ligands are known as coordination number. For example, if you take this example, for example, silver cyanide. What is the central ion here? Silver. Silver is a metal. Silver is a central ion. To this silver, which molecules are bonding? See here, the rest of the atoms, the rest of the molecules are, what are the molecules we have? This is cyanide or cyano. Okay, how many cyanides are there? 2. So this Cn minus, this Cn is a ligand here. Okay, this is a ligand. This is a central ion. And 2 is a number of ligands. What is the number of ligand means here? Coordination number. Therefore, the coordination number is 2. And see here one more example. Here, tetramine copper. So what is the central ion here? Copper. Central ion is copper. and followed by what are the ligands here? Only one ligand is here, that is ammonia. So how many ligands are there? How many ammonia molecules are there? 4. 4. Therefore, this is a coordination number, that is 4. And now see another type of complex. See, if you carefully observe this complex, what is the central ion? As I said, the first thing that will be written here inside the square bracket is a central ion. What is that central ion? Cobalt. Cobalt. And the rest of the molecules that are written after central ion are ligands. So what are the molecules we are having here? We are having, this is, what is this molecule? This is chlorine group, right? Chlorine. And this is ammonia. So this will be ligands now. Chloro and ammonia will be ligands. Now tell me how many ligands are there? Chloro molecules are there? 3. Okay, 3. So we are having 2 different type of ligands here. What are those different types? Chlorine and ammonia. So how many chlorines are there? 3. And how many ammonia molecules are there? 3. See here, 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. Therefore, the coordination number of this cobalt in this complex is 6. Okay. Therefore, the common coordination number we will be writing in a short form is Cn. Don't confuse this coordination number with this Cn with this Cn. Okay, this ligand. Okay, coordination number exhibited by metal ion are 2, 4, 6. Okay. See here, coordination number is written in a short form here, coordination number Cn. This Cn is different and this Cn is different. Don't get confused. Now, another term here is coordination sphere. Coordination sphere means the central ion along with the ions or molecules coordinate to it, which is enclosed in a square bracket, is known as coordination sphere. For example, here, the whole thing which is written inside the square bracket is coordination sphere. Here also see. Coordination sphere. This is inside the square bracket is coordination sphere. And the last thing that you have to know is charge on the complex ion. The charge carried by complex ion is the algebraic sum of the charges carried by the central ion and the ligands coordinated to it. For example, in this complex, see the charge on this, the whole coordination sphere is how much? +2. Okay, +2 is the charge. This charge will be now the charge of the central ion, copper +2. Because ammonia molecules are neutral. This we will be discussing in the next next slides in detail. How to calculate the charge. So this the charge of the complex or the charge of the central metal ion can be known once you know the charge of these ligands. Ammonia is a neutral molecule. Therefore, charge on the neutral molecules will be 0. Therefore, charge on the ammonia will be 0. Therefore, the charge of this whole complex ion will become the charge or oxidation state of central ion. Whereas, see this case here. Okay, here this is Cn means cyano or cyanide. This will be having -1 charge. This ligand, that is cyano or cyanide, will be having -1 charge. Here ammonia is neutral. Therefore, we have taken this charge as a charge of the central ion. Whereas the charge on this complex ion is -4. Just now, for now, just remember the charge on the complex ion is charge on the square bracket, -4. Okay. Charge on the central metal ion will be discussing the later. Now, I have taken these examples to explain the above terms which just now we have discussed. What is this? This is a complex ion or coordination compound. Coordination compound means the central metal atom is, what is this? Cobalt. And the first thing that is written, this is a square bracket. Complex ions are written in a square bracket. The first thing that is written inside the square bracket is metal atom, central metal atom. The central metal atom is here is cobalt, and the rest of the molecules which are written after these central ions are ligands. So what is the ligand here? Only one molecule is there, ammonia, and they are 6. Let us see. So what is the central metal atom here? Cobalt. Okay. What is this ammonia? This is a ligand. Okay, this is a ligand. So what is this? How many ligands are there? 6. That 6 is coordination number. Coordination number means, it means, what does this number means? Coordination number 6. This cobalt is capable of accepting 6 lone pair of electrons from this ammonia. So in ammonia, what is the donor atom? Nitrogen. Donor atom is nitrogen. So what is this? Charge on the complex. What is the charge? +3. So what is this whole thing inside the square bracket is known here? That is known as coordination sphere. And the whole thing is known as complex ion. Okay, complex ion. Now let us see the types of ligands now. There are basically 3 types of ligands: negatively charged ligands, neutral ligands, and positively charged ligands. What are ligands? Ligands means which should contain a lone pair of electron, at least one lone pair of electron, and that should be donated to that can be donated to the central ion or metal atom. So ligands may be neutral or ionic in nature, and they should contain one or more than one donor atoms. In ammonia, how many donor atoms are there? Only one, that is nitrogen. In water molecule, H2O. Which atom is having lone pair of electrons? Oxygen. Therefore, oxygen is a donor atom in water molecule. Now, depending on the number of donor atoms, ligands are basically classified as follows. For the first class is monodentate ligands. Monodentate ligands means these ligands will have only one donor atom. Okay, or ligands which donate only one electron pair, or we can also put it as the ligands which can form only one coordinate bond with the central metal atom are known as monodentate ligands. For example, ammonia, only one donor atom is there, nitrogen. Water, oxygen is a donor atom, and all the halogens, Cl minus, bromo, Cl, bromo. Here we should use chloro, bromo, cyano, hydroxo. Oxygen is a donor atom here, nitro, and this is a carbonyl. Okay. Next, bidentate ligands. Bidentate ligands means ligands which coordinates to the central ion through 2 donor atoms. What is the number of donor atom here? 2. Here only one donor atom. Ligands which contain only one donor atom is known as monodentate. The ligands which contain more than one donor or 2 donor atoms are known as bidentate ligands. For example, see here, oxalato. This is an example. You all have to remember these structures and also names and how they should be pronounced. This is oxalato. Okay, oxalato, and there are 2 donor atoms here. These oxygens are the donor atoms in this oxalate ion. Therefore, this is a bidentate ligand. See, another example is ethylene diamine. Ethylene, see, this is ethylene diamine. 2 amines are there. Therefore, ethylene diamine. In this ethylene diamine, there are 2 nitrogens. These are the 2 donor atoms here. Therefore, this is a bidentate ligand. Next one is polydentate ligands. The ligands which coordinate with the central ion through more than 2 donor atoms are known as polydentate ligands. So depending on the number of coordinating atoms or donor atoms, these are classified into tridentate, which contains 3 donor atoms. Tridentate ligands. Tri means 3, means dentate. Dentate means donation. 3 donor atoms. And the example for this is diethylene triamine. We will see the structure. When we see the structure, you will be understanding in a better way. Next is tetradentate ligands. These contain 4 donor atoms. Example is triethylene tetramine. Next one is pentadentate donor atoms. These contain 5 donor atoms. Pentadentate ligands contain 5 donor atoms. Ethylene diamine triacetate. Hexadentate ligands, these contain 6, hexa 6, penta 5, tetra 4. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Let us see the structures of this. So you have to remember these, the short forms of this. Diethylene triamine can be written in a short form as di-N. Because while writing the nomenclature, you cannot use the whole, this is a very big name. So you can use this one, di-N. Triethylene tetramine, tri-N. Ethylene diamine triacetate, HEDTA. Ethylene diamine tetraacetate is EDTA. Now let us see the structures. So first one is di-N. So this is a di-N here. This is also di-N. Okay. Di-N means diethylene triamine. So here, one ethylene group is here, second ethylene group here. So how many amines are there? 1, 2, 3. Therefore, di-ene triamine. 3 amine groups are there. So how many donor atoms are there here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, these 3 are donor atoms. Whereas here, see this one, triethylene tetramine. How many ethylene groups are there? Triethylene. 1, 2, 3. Tetraamine means 4 amine groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many donor atoms are there? How many nitrogens are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our carbon is a donor atom? No, it doesn't have any lone pair. Only nitrogens are the donor atoms here. Therefore, the name stands here. Triethylene tetramine. Okay. This is the same structure. Okay. Next one is ethylene diamine triacetate. Ethylene. Where is the ethylene here? See, ethylene. Diamine. One amino group here, another amino group here. Diamine. Triacetate. 3 acetyl groups. So where are the 3 acetyl groups? 1, 2, 3. So H is there on one nitrogen, therefore it is known as HEDTA. So how many total how many donor atoms are there? 5. What are the donor atoms? 1 nitrogen, 2, and the 3 this O- groups. 1, 2, 3, and 2 nitrogens are the donor atoms in EDTA. What are the donor atoms in EDTA? EDTA means ethylene diamine tetraacetate. This hydrogen here is acetate group here. So 2 nitrogen and 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 O- atoms are the donor atoms in this case. Total 6 donor atoms. These are polydentate ligands. In addition to these polydentate ligands, we will be having chelating ligands also. Mostly chelating ligands means polydentate ligands only, or bidentate ligands. They sometimes they coordinate to the central atom. When they coordinate the central atom using 2 or more donor atoms, they form a ring structure. That ring structure is known as chelate, and that ligand is known as chelating ligand. For example, ethylene diamine. Just now we have seen the structure of ethylene diamine. Okay. For example, ethylene diamine. How many donor atoms are there? 2. It is a bidentate ligand. So how does it coordinate? By using these 2 donor atoms. When these 2 are involved in bonding with the central metal atom, here see here copper is a central metal atom, and these 2 are forming coordinate covalent bond here like this. There is a formation of ring here. Okay, this ring is known as chelate, and this ligand is known as chelating ligand. Okay, this see here, it is written in the short form here, EN. Just now I have told you ethylene diamine can be written in a short form as EN, ethylene diamine. So the how many ethylene diamines are there? 2. Just now I said 2 means, is this a coordination number? No. Here you have to be carefully see how the coordination number has to be calculated here in case of chelating ligands. This is the chelating ligand. So how many donor atoms will be involved? from each En 2 donor atoms. Here 2 donor atoms means 2 donor atoms. There are 2 ENs means 4 donor atoms are coordinating with copper. 2 from each En, one from one En, other 2 from another En. So total 4 coordinating bonds are formed with the central metal atom by 2 molecules of ethylene diamine. So these number of coordinated covalent bonds should be equal to coordination number in such cases. That is 4 here. Okay, 4. Another example is here oxalate ion. Oxalate ion. In oxalate ion, O- atoms are the donor atoms. When these form coordinate covalent bond with the central metal atom, for example, see here iron. Okay, these two, when they form coordinate covalent bond with the central atom, they will form a ring like this, chelate. That is a chelate. So that's why this oxalate ion is also a chelating ligand. So in case of chelating ligands, if it is a bidentate ligand, each will form a 2 coordinate covalent bonds with the central metal ion. So you should be careful while calculating the coordination number. So how many chelating ligands are there? 3. Chelating, this is a bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand means each oxalate, from each oxalate, 2 donor atoms will be involved in formation of coordinate covalent bond. Therefore, 2 into 3, 6. Coordination number is 6 here. So we'll stop here. In the next class, we can discuss the nomenclature. So till now we have seen the types of ligands. Dear students, you all have to remember the types of ligands. That's now what we have discussed now. Okay, we'll stop here.